Thank you, Mr. Engineer Saad Khalkhal. You hear me? Mr. Engineer Saad Khalkhal. Mr. Engineer Afan Abdul Sharif. You hear me? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Mr. Engineer and other students, other engineers. Okay. Mr. Engineer Amin Taha Abd. You hear me? Okay. Excuse me. Continue. About the relation between the last step of risk management, excuse me, that is risk monitoring and control. The relation between risk monitoring and control, the last step of risk management, and the steps and phases of project construction and project management. So project phases and process, we know and discuss that is such as initiation, planning, execution, control, and closing. And during the construction of the project, we have some control about the execution or construction the project, and the monitoring and controlling the responses, sufficiency, and effectiveness of any response about any risk will be dealt during the risk construction. And related to this phase of the step of project construction and management, that is execution control. And relation between risk monitoring and control with other 7 phases of project management is discussed in this diagram. So from the left, excuse me, for a minute. Okay. About the relation between risk monitoring and control and other phases and steps and execution control in project construction and management. From the left of this diagram, that is planning in our project from the left-hand side. The first box is information distribution. After that, project execution or construction, and in upper box is procurement management, and after that, from the left is reporting about team development, about schedule control, about the scope verification, and cost control, and quality control about the project and project management. And in the white color box in the right-hand side, there is change management in our project, and after that closing. And about the risk monitoring and control, that is written in the red color box, risk monitoring. This is the relation, and this diagram is illustration about the relation between the last step of risk management, that is monitoring and control the sufficient responses and the sufficient effect of response on project management with other phases and other controls in project management or project construction. Okay. The next one about risk monitoring and control step. Okay, Ms. Engineer Rania, I sent the slide to WhatsApp group. Okay. And about the purposes of risk monitoring and control. First purpose is keeping track on identified risks. Next one is monitor new risk and add them to the risk management process. The third purpose of executing risk response plans. And the next one is evaluating risk response effectiveness on project objectives. And the last one is variance and trend analysis about risk responses. And at the end of this step, that is monitoring and controlling about any risk response, we discussed that if that response is suitable and has sufficient effects on project objectives, we will continue with that response until that risk will be ended and will be exit from the risk management process. And if any response for any risk is not sufficient and suitable, we will change the response and we will update it. We will update the risk register and will report to risk managers, and they will deal with the new responses about risk. And this process will be continued until the closing and the ending the end of that project or project construction and project management. Okay. And about risk monitoring and control, there are some group items such as inputs, methods, and outputs. About the input that we used for monitoring and control the risk or responses of any risk, response of any risk are such as inputs, project plan that we use in reviewing the document of the project, the next input is risk management plan, and next item about inputs is risk register, and the next one is performance information about the effects on our project objectives, and about some method that we use in risk monitoring and control. And this method will must be determined in the first step, that is planning the risk management, or make a risk management plan. We must determine and explain and discuss about the methods that are suitable for risk monitoring and controlling, that is according to the standards and according to our risk in our special risk in our project. Okay. The method for risk monitoring and control are such as risk audits, or deal with risk or responses. Next method is risk assessment, quantitative and qualitative assessment or analysis. Next method is variance and trend analysis. Next one is technical and performance measurement. And next method is reverse or back analysis. And the last one is status meeting. Some meeting with some determined standards and format that we make, and we discuss about the efficiency of the response of risk in monitoring and control. And about the output or result of risk monitoring and control step are such as first one, risk register updates will continue during the construction of the project, and project management and risk management of that project. Risk register updates that will be repeated during the risk management process. And the next output is change requests about some risk and responses. And next output is corrective actions. Next one is preventative actions. And next output is planned changes about risk management and about project management, and deal with the response of any risk. And the last output about risk monitoring and control is lessons learned that will increase the knowledge of our project, our team, and our company. Okay. And about the document of risk register, that is one of the documents of risk management process. Besides the risk management plan. This is a document, risk register, that will be reported to the project managers and will be updated during the risk management and project management process. So risk register is such as these items that will be updated. The first item is a list of identified risks, and we know that this list will be changed during the risk management. Some risk will be added to the list of the risk and process of risk management, and some risk will be omitted from the list. So list of identified risk. After that, the risk owners. About any risk, we must determine the owner of the risk. The next item in risk register is risk response plans. So notice that the risk register will be excuse me. In risk register is residual and secondary risks. And the next item in risk register is a watch list of small risks and not important risks. And the last item in risk register is time and cost about risk management and about any of the risk and its response, time and cost. Okay. There is an example, but it's not clear, unfortunately. An example for risk register that we can make it by, for example, Excel media or software, and we can note any item about any risk and the risk, the list of risk in our project. Any item from the left, number in the row number and or number of risk, and after that the name and probability and effect with suitable standard in our project, and other items that we discussed about any risk, such as responses and the items of controlling, monitoring and control about any response for that risk, and other items that we must make a standard in risk management plan at the first step, and risk register, we must make this table with some needed items about any risk and its response. Okay, it's a schematic picture that tells us that about risk management when we don't deal with the risks or risk management in our project. He or she tell us that I knew I shouldn't have brought the termites. Okay, because the ship is a wooden ship and it's sinking. After or during sinking, he or she telling us that I knew I shouldn't have brought the termites. That is a kinds of insects, and it wood. Okay. Any question, engineers? Any question? Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. With process of risk management and 6 steps of risk management, such as I define risk. Excuse me. The first step, that is planning the risk management. The second one is identifying risk. Third one is qualitative risk analysis. After that, quantitative risk analysis, and last step, the next step is determining the responses of risk, and the last step or 6 steps is monitoring and control the response of risk or of risk. And we discuss that this process, risk management process, is a cyclic and a dynamic process, and we'll start from the first steps of project construction and project management, and will be continued and repeated during the project construction and project management, and will be ended at the end of and the closing of the project. Okay. In the next section, we will discuss about some examples and some activities in details about risk process or procedure. Thank you very much, engineers, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any question, please ask me. Any questions?
Doctor.
Okay.
Is there any software programs for analysis and risk management?
Yes, it's depend on the method that we select about any risk. Okay, yes, there are some softwares. That book or that manual, that English manual that I sent in the group, and I noticed that, and I wrote that it's a very useful manual for risk management. Explain in detail about the methods.
Yes. Vale, thanks, Doctor.
And if we have enough time, we will discuss about the seasons of that book. Okay, especially about.
Inshallah, Doctor.
Okay, about especially about the qualitative and quantitative and monitoring methods in risk management. But you can you can study that book. Okay.
Inshallah. Thanks a lot, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any question, engineers? Thank you and goodbye. And if you had some question, you can ask me at the beginning of the last session. Please write your question and ask me in the last session your questions. Thank you very much and goodbye. شكرا. خدا حافظ. خدا نگهدار. Engineers, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.
خدا حافظ دكتور.
خدا.